Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. Molly is the singer in a band. Desmond says to Molly, girl, I like your face. And while he says this, Molly takes him by the hand. Go Paddy.
We are on our way to Liverpool, the cradle of maritime history in the UK and the hometown of some legendary musicians, two of England's famous football clubs, and some grand landmark buildings. But we mainly came here because our grandson wanted to see the hometown of the Beatles.
Don't make it bad. If there's anything that you want, if there's anything we can do.
Here we are at the pier head, overlooking the River Mersey, the waterfront area where the George's docks were located in the 18th and 19th century, and now where Liverpool's three graces at one time were the historic centre of Liverpool's maritime history. The Port of Liverpool building, the Cunard building, which operated voyages to Halifax in Canada and Boston in the US, and the Royal Liver building with its two liver birds perched on top, which are the symbols of Liverpool. Legend has it that if the two birds ever flew away, then the city would cease to exist. These stone birds are actually chained to the top of the building. The liver bird first appeared on the seal of the Liverpool town in the 13th century. It is a mythical bird of unknown origin. It also appears on the crest of the Liverpool Football Club.
Liverpool gained prominence as the maritime heartland of England. At its height, there were as many as 43 docks built and operated in this port. Most of them have been converted into a waterfront district now. The Albert Docks is always a lively part of Liverpool's waterfront. Simply put, Liverpool was arguably the most important port in the whole of Britain in the 19th century. More than 19 million people left from this port for the New World, and it handled more than a quarter of the maritime trade of England. In the 18th century, this port was prominent in a particularly dark trade, from where about 80% of slave ships leaving this port in 1790s. The docks also boast of sculptures of the Beatles, John, Paul, George, and Ringo.
Alone on a hill, the man with the foolish grin is keeping perfectly still.
Here on Derby Square is a grand monument to Queen Victoria at the site of the ancient Liverpool castle which came to ruin.
One of the oldest buildings in central Liverpool today is the Albion House, the house of the White Star Line Shipping Company, the owner of the RMS Titanic, which was registered in Liverpool and which sank on its maiden voyage in the Atlantic when it collided with an iceberg. The Titanic was built in Belfast and sailed to New York from Southampton. The Albion House is now a restaurant. There is also a statue of John Walker, a heroic naval commander in the Second World War, considered by many as the father of modern anti-submarine warfare. This is Whitechapel Lane, which was originally called Frog Lane, after a colony of frogs lived here in the muddy waters. Here's where we had our lunch. If you ever get lost in Liverpool, just look up and spot the St. John Tower, which serves as a beacon as it looms over Liverpool. Now it is the home to a radio station.
The iconic St. Luke's Church, or as it is better known, the bombed-out church, fell victim to the Luftwaffe's bomb in 1941 and is now a relic and site for modern cultural programs. The entrance to Liverpool's Chinatown is marked by a dragon. This is the oldest Chinatown in all of Europe.
The behemoth and capacious Liverpool Cathedral is a titan among cathedrals in the world, the fifth largest on the planet. The Great George is the heaviest bell in the whole world, installed in the tower of the cathedral. This is where the Gladstone family lived, and they owned more slaves than anyone else in Guyana and Jamaica. His son later became the Prime Minister of England for over 12 years, on 4 separate occasions, and he served at the age of 84, making him the oldest British PM in office. Brian Epstein, the manager of the Beatles, lived in this house. This is a statue depicting the one-day Christmas truce of World War I between the Germans and the British. And this is the sailor's home gate.
The Cavern Club serves as a place of pilgrimage for music fans across the world. The Beatles played their first gig here in 1961 in a lunchtime slot. The original site of the Cavern was on the opposite side of the street. The Beatles played 292 times here, and their last gig was in 1963 before their fame went into stratosphere. Matthew Street is a beating heart of the nightlife in Liverpool and also the centre for raucous clubs and pubs. We left Liverpool after 3 full days from the Liverpool Lime Street railway station, the gateway to Liverpool, named after the street on which it stands. The station was built in 1836, the world's first intercity railway between Liverpool and Manchester City.